Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, back again with another figure review, this time the Resident Evil 5 Chris Redfield. Now, I obviously just reviewed the Executioner from my local Toys R Us. Well, I went back up there to kind of shop around for a gift, and saw that they had a number of these, so I grabbed Chris, and I hit a Sheva, so I can get her when my paycheck comes in. So, this is Chris Redfield. He comes with his knife, gun, his knife, his handgun, and his shotgun. Now, I don't really know what they're talking about knife. I guess they mean the machete strapped to his back. But anyways, the detail on this guy is phenomenal. You won't be able to make it on the camera, but even through the box you can see the BSA patch on his arm. Every detail is really on it. There he is on the side of the box in all the various little poses. There's the back of the box with Chris and Sheva. Bigger picture of Chris. His stats. Sheva, Chris, and Executioner. That side of the box lists his accessories. Okay, so glad to finally have this. These really haven't shown up in my area until just recently. So, without further ado, let's pull this bad boy out of the pack. Okay, and here Chris is out of the box. Now, I'm assuming that everyone watching this review has already watched my Executioner review. Now, I gave Executioner a very low score because he was so disappointing. The biggest flaw being he could not hold his accessory whatsoever. Now, as you see here, Chris is holding his shotgun rather nicely. But that's just one point. So, let's pull his handgun out. Little note, he can't hold his handgun barely. I mean, you can basically put it in there where it'll stay in his hand, but even the slightest jostle will knock the handgun out of his hand. And on top of that, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, let's move Chris to the side, the trigger guard actually broke. Which, the trigger guard is the piece of metal surrounding the trigger. You aren't going to be able to tell, but yeah, this circular piece is snapped. I didn't put any undue pressure on it, I don't mistreat my figures, completely snapped. Now, the detail on the gun is very nice. I mean, it's really spot on. One thing I've got to say about this series of figures is that they probably have some of the best detail out of any action figure line I've ever messed with. But that doesn't make up for how bad their accessories are. Now, take in mind, I usually just pull my action figures out, pose them the way I want, and put them on a shelf. But, you know, at the same time, I expect to be able to do that. Now, on to Chris's quote-unquote knife. Pulls out. He cannot hold it whatsoever. His wrists are made to hold the guns, and they only hold a shotgun. As you can see here in his hand, you can see how the weird angle it turned. It was just trying to fall out. He doesn't hold the knife at all. So knife doesn't fit, handgun doesn't fit. The only thing that fits is the shotgun. So now let's get on to some actually good things about this figure. Detail. Everything about this guy is spot on awesome. You'll notice the little radios, the walkies, the ammo clips. Everything looks real. Even the pouch for his handgun looks very realistic. He even has the earpiece in his ear so he can communicate with Sheva or Base. Now, on to articulation. He's better than the Executioner. He rotates at the arm 360 degrees, swivels at the bicep, bends at the elbow, wrist joint. All a little sticky, but, you know, I can live with it. Has a very slight up and down in his abdomen. Leg, of course, bends, goes out, bends at the knee, very slight foot rotation. Now, his foot is actually kind of at this weird angle, so you have to pose him kind of with one leg behind the other, so he'll stand properly. Once you've got him like that, he's good. Oh, don't know if I went over the shotgun detail or not. Standard shotgun with a brown part to it. I mean, nothing particularly special. So overall, now this line is becoming increasingly depressing because while his detail is amazing, your figures need to be able to use their accessories. I mean, what's the deal of giving us all this cool stuff if Chris can't hold it? I mean, really, I can pull the knife out, but I can't put it in his hands. What good is that? So overall, I'm still going to get Sheva, just for the simple fact I've already bought everybody else, and Chris will at least look better posed with Sheva on a shelf. But, do I recommend him? If you're going to buy him... Something just fell off. Oh, his gun fell out. If you're just going to buy him, pull him out, and pose him, he's has a $13 price tag. The detail on him is pretty good. If you're a die-hard Resident Evil 5 fan, yeah, get him. Pose him, leave him be. But if you're looking for a figure that has a wide range of motion, you want to pose him with his handgun or his knife, pass this guy up, because this is not the guy for you. Executioner, of course, was a pass. Sheva, I'm not expecting much of her. I wasn't before, and after these two figures, really going to have to pull off a miracle to impress me. I'm going to go a 6 on Chris, just because they did put a lot of nice detail in him. But the accessories suck. He can't hold them. The only thing he holds well is the shotgun. So a 6 is below average, but only by a point, which I think he deserves a little lower, but the detail in this guy is really fantastic. So this is JTrain987. Chris from the Resident Evil 5 series gets a 6 out of 10, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.